Welcome back to the third and final video on the Buffalo National River trip. It is day 5, March 29th. We are breaking camp and we have two goals today. First of all, we're going to stop at Gilbert's store. We'll be there around 9:30ish or so. Then after that, we want to arrive at the Buffalo Point Campground. Again, we got storms coming in. You can tell it's already overcast. It's going to be this way all day. Sorry, no sun, no pretty skies and colors. This is what we got. So we've got about 28 or so miles to make to Buffalo Point Campground with a stop to eat at Gilbert. So we got a lot to do. So let's get started. Well, here we are at the Gilbert store and campground. We called them the day before, and they said, well, technically our kitchen isn't open for another month or so, but we explained to them we were paddling through, and they said, well, call tomorrow morning about 9 when Betty gets there, and she'll hook you up. So that's what we did. We got up and got going this morning, and of course, again, not having cell coverage everywhere, we had to wait until we were within range. We called the store, told Betty that we were going to be there in a little bit. We each ordered cheeseburger for now and then one for to go. So we put in our order and finally made it there. The cheeseburgers were absolutely delicious. Thank you, Betty, for doing this for us. That was so kind and gracious. We had a great time, a great visit there. We also got to take some on the water with us, and we enjoyed those a little later in the day for our lunch. So again, thank you, Betty, at the Gilbert store, and let's get back to our trip.
when we both get together and feel.
We made it to Buffalo Point. This is a campground run by the National Park Service, and look at this view. This place is amazing. But that's not why we wanted to be here. We wanted to be here because we knew storms were coming. So as we arrived here at Buffalo Point, we wanted to be here again because, as you can see, there's bathhouses, there's pavilions, there's other people. This was just a safer place for us than out in the woods. We're checking out the info board here, figuring out how much it costs to camp here and where we need to go. So we get all that information set up. We drug our boats way up off the water, turn them upside down to keep the rain out, tied them together just in case the water did get that high. I know we're a long ways off the water, but it actually got close. We'll get to that later. There's mine and Wes's hammock there. There's Gray's tent. Then up on the hill, you have Charlie and Jerry. But this ended up being a great campsite for us. We were near a bathhouse. We all enjoyed hot showers that evening. So we just decided to take it easy this evening. We were pretty sure tomorrow was going to be a 0 day. It turned out it was. 0 day meaning a day that you don't make any miles. We were just going to have to wait out the rain, and that's what we did. So we just relaxed this evening and enjoyed each other's company and some supper, and then settled in and got ready for the rain. This was day 6. A lot of laying around and some napping, which actually felt good. After 5 days of paddling, and especially 28 miles the day before, part of that fighting a pretty good headwind, felt good to just relax. The other guys, they were like, there's no way we were napping. We wanted to make sure we slept good at night. And that made sense. I certainly understood. But for me, I had to nap to kind of pass some of the time away. We were in our hammocks and tents the whole day, but that's okay. Here I'm making me some lunch and some coffee. Normally I would heat my water and do my peak refuel meals for both breakfast and supper, but today was a lazy day. I decided to just do it at lunch, and it was fine. Finally, about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon, the rain broke. We decided to walk down to the river and check it out. It was up, a couple feet, but it wasn't anything bad. But we also knew that it was probably going to rise all night. It takes, at least a day for the rivers to peak after a rain. And so we were just checking it out. The sun came out a little bit. It was beautiful. Made me really want to get on the water, but we knew we had to wait. On the way back to camp, we ran into a ranger. She let us listen to the weather forecast on her radio. Water was definitely coming up, and some places had it pretty bad around us, but we fortunately got off light. We just had some rain, a little wind, but nothing bad. So another evening of just hanging out at camp, taking it easy, and just relaxing and trying to get a plan for tomorrow, which is going to be really just depending on what the river does. We would just have to wake up, see where the river is at, but there was a chance we knew that we'd have to do the whole thing tomorrow. So we just turned in and had to wait and see what the river looked like tomorrow. This is day 7. We're packing up and we're about to head out. We've already checked the river. It's up 15 feet or more. We know that if it gets much higher, they'll close the river. We won't be able to leave, so we're trying to get on the water as soon as possible. We also know that it being up this high, all the campsites along the way are going to be flooded, so we've got to finish this thing today. Once we start, we're committed. We've got about 31 miles to go to finish, which is the White River. We talked about it among ourselves. It's not ideal conditions, but we've all agreed that this is what we need to do. Get on the water and go. I tried to do a couple of photo comparisons to show how much the water came up. That's difficult unless you're in the exact same spot, but you maybe get a little bit of an idea. This is from the day we arrived, which was 2 days ago, and then today when we're about to leave. But I think you can really see it in the next one. And so what this shows is the day we arrived. This is us unloading. You see Jerry there at water level. Also notice the steep incline of the bank that I'm standing on, how sharp it goes up. So I'm standing there filming. So as it rolls, you can see I'm going to turn up towards the bank, and I'm looking up at the top of the hill. And I'll stop it right here. And see that culvert, that black culvert? When we launched, my canoe was less than 10 feet from that, and it was on the edge of the water.
Good. In the spirit of man, let's do it.
Okay, I gotta admit, this is my least favorite paddling right here. Yeah, it's flat. We're not going to have to worry about rapids. Rapids are fun, because they're generally short. They come and go, and then you get breathers in between. But we're getting on a mad and muddy river, and there's no stop till we get off. And so while we're probably not going to have rapids, what you will have is a lot of squirrely currents that will just mess you up when you're not expecting it out in the middle of the river, because there's stuff that's not normally under the water that's underwater, screwing with the currents. Also, you don't really have banks. The water's up into the trees and bushes, areas where it's not really normally and where it shouldn't be. So once you're in, you're committed, and again, you're fighting some squirrely currents the whole way down. So again, it's my least favorite type of paddling, but I knew we needed to do this. I agreed to the decision. We all did. We knew this was the best decision, was just to finish this thing out today. And so not only did we know we needed to go this 31 miles, but the way this water's moving, we knew it wasn't going to take long, and it didn't. So let's get started. Even though the river demanded more attention today, I knew this was our last few hours on the river, and I had to enjoy it. Well, here we are at the finish line. We're at the confluence of the Buffalo National River and the White River. Now, with all the rain we've had the day before, this ferry across the White River was not easy. We worked our butts off to get across there, but we did. Once we made it across the White River, we arrived at Riley's Outfitters. They were very kind and gracious, helped us get out of the water and welcomed us back to land after our long journey. There is a fee to use their landing site, but these are great folks. Highly recommend using them. They also have some cabins you can rent. We talked about even having one of their cabins reserved to land there and just hop in the cabin and chill for an evening before we head back. So anyway, check out Riley's Outfitters. Good folks there. We had a great time on this trip, but we're definitely looking forward to hot showers and warm, soft beds. It's just been so much fun. A special thank you again to Charlie for inviting me on this trip, and to Jerry and Wes and Gray, and just the guys for just welcoming me in, and the great time we had getting to know each other and going down this river. This is by far the most epic adventure I've ever been a part of. It's been a blast. I hope it's the first of many more. I hope everyone gets a chance at some point to enjoy at least part of the Buffalo National River. You don't have to do the whole thing. You don't have to do 7 days. But any part of this river you can get on will definitely be worth it. Highly recommend it. And I hope everybody gets a chance to just get outdoors and enjoy God's creation whenever you can. There's so much out there to be enjoyed. So let's all enjoy it. Let's all take care of it, and hope to see you all out on the water.